course, to see Synchronously already on the grid there. He's in P13, and I'm sure we wanted to try and get in amongst the Alpha Romeos, particularly Luke Bailey, if he can try and get in the way. Of course, he's speaking during the week, saying he will be very happy to try and do his best to try and help Craig, not just in the drives, but of course for the constructors as well. Of course, Renault, I think, are just 6 points off the Alfa Romeo team, but we are 5 red lights and we're just waiting for it to go out, and it's gone out. It looks like it's a little bit of a wheel spin start from the Alfa Romeo driver. Craig's going to pull to the outside. It's not quite alongside. He's going to think better of it, and you see the Teo Rosso, the Drajo, trying to have a little sniff on the outside. It's F1 which goes so close to the back, and see Drajo falls into P4. We've got the Mercedes looking like he's trying to fend off fend off Cryptox as they're going almost side by side for the next sequence of corners. Luke Bailey is still holding on to P7. He's right in the back of the Teo Rosso. I think he just Gareth also getting himself inside the points into P9 as Luke Bailey looks like it's getting a little bit of a Drajo just having a look on the inside of F1 Richard onto turn 8 and turn 9. It just got out of it at the last minute, but now might come under a little bit of pressure from the Mercedes. Still goes very deep on the brakes, very, very wide. They might allow Cryptox to come back at him. I think Cryptox just losing a little bit of traction out the hairpin, but that was super late on the brakes from Still. Might have even missed his braking point. So, and looks like Gareth is just about to put himself all amongst the gearbox of that Teo Rosso. Of course, there's probably the phase in the race where these mediums, despite both doing 7 laps, of course, they're harder compounded tyres, going to have just a bit more grip than those who are on the softs. And we see how slippery his car is in a straight line. We see him quite often not have the slipperiest of cars, the Williams driver, but it looks like tonight, let's see Cryptox just saving a bit of energy. Looks like he's going to come into the final chicane. I think Cryptox might go into the pit lane anyway. In fact, indeed he does. Just going right on board of Craig, who's sort of stuck right behind the Williams of O'Stephen. I'm sure he'll be desperate to try and get past the Williams, because he knows just ahead of the Williams car is Simon Palmer, who's about 3 seconds ahead of Craig come the pit stops, but just getting caught in this traffic isn't quite helping. As we look to the inside into turn 8, he's going to go late on the brakes, got the DRS, going to go really tight, and Malc just about gives him space. And I think that's good driving from the pair of them. It's not an easy overtaking point at all, but they got the move done. And likewise, I think Craig has passed O'Stephen in similar fashion. He's in the DRS of the Ferrari, and I'm sure he's just probably keeping a little bit of an eye on his main rivals' progress through the field as well. He has got a car in between them, crucially, as he's got so much more grip coming out of turn 1. And he's going to try and come back underneath into turn 2. It'd be a super move if he can do it. He's going to pull alongside, coming into the right-hander at turn 3, and he's got the job done. So Spud gets out of the way. He knows it's not really his battle. Super.
I think Craig will be happy with where he is, though, at the moment. Obviously, Luke had that problem in the first stint. So, yeah, Craig will be happy with how it's going as well.
Well, a super move. Got 3 wide now coming down the second DRS zone between 7 and 8. I don't know who's going to get it. Still's got the inside line as the two. He gets both of them done. Fantastic bit of racecraft from Still in the Mercedes. It looked like a stunning move from Drajo as it came around the outside of turn 6, then had the inside for turn 7. Just couldn't quite get the throttle planted well enough. That gave Still the chance to just pick his line on the exit of turn 7. Went down the inside of the pair of them. It's just see Malc losing the traction all over.
Yeah, definitely. Simon is showing incredible pace in this medium stint, the middle stint. He's like you say, he got that gap out to Craig over 5 seconds now, I believe, which is huge. I mean, if he's looking after his tyres as well at the same time, this is going to be it should be a relatively straightforward race from here for Simon, as Gareth now pits, I believe, and it clears out of Simon's way. So Simon has got completely clear air at the front, as we've got a battle going back on between Still and Spud. Still gets the move done down the inside. Is Spud going to come back at him though down the straight? I believe not, because Still has got DRS. Yeah, as we see Jeffrey leave the session, so I'm assuming he's seen enough of what tonight has brought him, and unfortunately he is now out. So yeah, JSP is having a good race, quite a little race down in P7 as he's just trying to drive around the outside of Sir Spud, who is going to back out here. This is going to be a bit dangerous if neither of them does. JSP is going around the outside. Oh, that was very nicely held from both drivers, but that's not really an overtaking place. So he's going to have to wait until this DRS zone. But Sir Spud, no, JSP goes round into the wall.
But we'll have DRS coming out of turn 7 if he's got a good enough traction. But the Ferrari's got it as well, so it's not going to be an easy pass for him. But we should probably actually credit Luke Bay a little bit more. He's got himself into P5. Of course, he's got a real mission to do if he wants to try and better his championship rival. But he's had despite having to pit a lot earlier than he would have liked, he's looking like he's going to lose minimum points to Craig is once looking at is Spud wrestling over the curves of turn 10 as Cryptox now drives around the outside of him. Synchronous just now having a little bit of a scruffy couple of corners. Gareth might even throw it late on the brakes. No, he's going to sit behind him. In fact, no, he's going to sit right in the back of him. And looking at that front wing end plate on the left hand side, he's now minused it. And of course, he's only got 4 laps on his medium tyres, so he's going to want to try and eke out this stint a lot longer than he currently is. He's got DRS, but he's now going to be minus a whole heap of downforce. But he's going to come down the back straight. He's going to look to the inside, going into the final chicane. As the Spud does now come into the pits, but I'm sure Gareth will be fuming about that. He's damaged his front wing on a car that came into the pits just seconds later. Once again, literally mirroring the strategies, and once again looks like Steele and Drazier are going to go one more lap. As Synchronous goes down the inside, he just has to, not a fully committed overtake, so he just hurdles the curb, but he's going to come back underneath the wheel. He's going to have a better run. He's going to have DRS. He's going to have the inside line for turn 1, so it should be an easy move. I don't think Gareth is going to fight it with the lack of downforce that he has, and coming to turn 2. It's an easy move for the Renault driver, I'm sure, for the win. And of course, our net race leader of Simon Palmer is now right on the back of the tail, or Cryptox. Cryptox looks like he's just saving a bit of ERS down the straight, so I don't think he's going to fight it all too much. He knows it's not really his fight as Simon Palmer moves up into P3, and of course his teammate ahead of him on 17 lap old medium, so I'm sure his teammate won't put up any sort of resistance to him. And so Spud was just saying his strategy has propelled him up the order. He's currently sat in P6. I think he's got maybe just one, I want to say, time penalty to his name. I think the cars behind him might have a couple more, but if he can just try and keep him, he's got 3 cars behind him on the soft tyres, and they are hungry for more positions. He's in an incredible 6th place, but his tyres are going to be very, very worn. We see just 5 lap old tyres for the Alfa Romeo of Luke Bailey, who looks like he's just destined to make a move into this final chicane. He's going to have a little sniff to the inside. He's going to pull alongside into the final corner. He's going to take that position off the Ferrari, and the Ferrari is now going to drop down into P7. But Synchronous, and just see Simon Palmer for the last time coming around the hairpin of turn 10 as Drazier, who's got inside the 3-second gap of Craig, who I don't believe had a 3-second time penalty, until just now. On the last lap has picked up a 3-second time penalty. We'll have to see if that is in fact crucial to the changes of the man who finishes P2 and the man who finishes P3. There's absolutely no doubt who's going to win this race. We haven't seen this sort of dominance from Simon Palmer since round 1, but he takes his 2nd win of the season. A massive well done to Simon Palmer. He has absolutely dominated the Canadian Grand Prix. The Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve belongs to him tonight, as Craig does finish P2 and Drazier does go P3. If he didn't pick